Make sets, steal sets, become a millionaire. Cover your assets. Join me from my table to yours and let's learn how to play. These are the cards you use to make sets and they have differing values. There are also two types of wild cards, gold and silver. The penny jar, move, and swap are only used in the advanced rules, so set them aside for now. Let's go over the rules for 4 to 6 players. For fewer players, watch this video to the end and then check out this video that builds upon those rules and adds modifications for 2 to 3 players. After shuffling the deck, deal 5 cards to each player, place the deck in the middle as a draw pile, and flip over the top card to be the first card in the discard pile. The player to the dealer's left goes first. Before we get into the rules, let's discuss some key terms. Assets are the individual items you're collecting. Wilds are gold and silver, and they can be used to match with any asset. Sets start out as a pair of assets or one asset with a wild card, but can grow over time. And your stack is a pile that has multiple sets. Now let's get into taking your turn. On your turn, you must take one and only one of the following actions. You can form a set, discard, or challenge to attempt to steal. There are 2 different ways in which you can form a set. The first is easy to understand, and it's just the 2 cards straight from your hand. The second way is to match a card from your hand with a card from the discard pile, put them together, and add them to your stack. With both of these actions, you can replace one of the cards with a wild card. Quick note, you're never allowed to make a set of only wilds. To keep the stack separated, alternate placing your new sets horizontally and vertically. You can also do this even if the set that you're going to play matches the set on top. The next available action is to discard. To do so, pick a card from your hand, place it in the discard pile. The next action you can take is to challenge to attempt to steal. For every player on the board, their top set is vulnerable to attack. Here's 2 quick things you need to know. The bottom set can never be stolen, and you must have at least one set before you attempt to challenge another player. And that brings us to our first strategy tip of the video. Since your bottom set can never be stolen, it's a great place to hide wilds. In this case, you would have 70,000 that cannot be stolen by any other player. It's a pretty great way to start off the game. Okay, back to challenging. So to challenge a player's top set, you must play a card that is the same as their set, or you can also play a wild. Even though assets and wilds have different values, they have equal stealing power. The defender may protect their set by playing a matching card or a wild. This will continue back and forth until the point when someone cannot play, or they choose not to play a card. Then, whoever plays the last card is going to claim the set. They take both the set and all of the cards that have been played in the challenge, and they place it on top of their pile, forming a new set. During a challenge, you don't draw new cards. You wait until it's over and then draw back up to 5. The person whose turn it was will draw first, and then the defender, if any, will also draw back up to a hand size of 5. Once hand size is replenished, the next player to the left will take their turn. Once the last card is drawn, players will continue to take their turns until all players have no cards left. If you choose not to form a set or challenge, you must take the discard action. If you run out of cards before others, your stacks are still vulnerable to be stolen, which leads into our second strategy tip. Where possible, try to be the last one holding a card, especially if that card is a wild. Doing this allows you to choose the top set of any other player's stack. So if there's a big set, you can steal it and then potentially turn the tide of the game in your favor. Scoring. Take all of your cards and tally them up to see who's the winner. It's a little easier to keep track of them if you put them in piles of 100,000. There are 4 ways you can choose from to end a game. You can play as many rounds until someone reaches a million, play a single round and see who has the high score. You can also see who has the highest score after 3 rounds, or go until someone wins 2 rounds. To learn how to use the penny jar, swap, and move card, or how to play a 2 to 3 player game, check out the video on the screen now.